Oh my goodness, I was absolutely chuffed to bits to get behind the wheel on I-75 in Collier County, Florida. It was a proper adventure, I tell you. I mean, the dual carriageway was packed with traffic, but I didn't let that faze me. I just got stuck in and put the pedal to the metal. I was motoring along like a champ, weaving in and out of the lanes, giving it some whirly. The scenery was smashing, too. The palm trees and blue sky were just what I needed to feel like I was on holiday. And the sunshine was so warm, I could feel it on my skin even through the car windows. It was a bit of a mission to navigate my way through the roadworks, mind you. The cones were all over the shop and the diversion signs were a bit of a faff. But I persevered and eventually made it through, feeling like a proper road warrior. You won't believe the nitty-gritty about I-75 in Florida, darling. This motorway is an absolute corker, stretching all the way from Miami to the Panhandle, covering a whopping 470 miles. Now, don't get your knickers in a twist, but you've got to watch out for the alligators crossing the motorway, especially in the swampy bits around Alligator Alley. And when you're passing through Naples, you'll be gobsmacked by the snazzy mansions and posh golf courses lining the motorway. But you'd better make sure your motor is tip-top, because the Florida Highway Patrol don't mess about with their speed guns. They're always lurking around the bend, ready to give you a fine if you're caught driving over the limit. And if you fancy a bite to eat, there's no need to get your knickers in a twist. There are plenty of rest areas with chippy vans and greasy spoons serving up good old-fashioned American nosh. Just make sure you pack your wallet, because the prices can be steep. All in all, I-75 is a proper belter of a motorway, and a must-see for any petrolhead visiting the Sunshine State. Butter my crumpets and call me a biscuit. Collier County in Florida is a right gem, love. For starters, it's home to some proper fancy schmancy beach towns, like Naples and Marco Island. And if you're looking to get your swanky on, you'll be spoilt for choice with all the high-end restaurants and boutiques. But don't think it's all just posh nosh and swanky shops. Collier County is also home to the Everglades, a proper lush national park with all sorts of wildlife and swampy goodness. You can take a boat tour or even go on a gator hunt, if you're feeling brave. And if you're a petrolhead like me, you'll be chuffed to bits to know that Collier County is also home to the Immokalee Regional Raceway. You can watch the drag races or even try your hand at the wheel yourself, if you're feeling adventurous. But let's not forget about the history, love. Collier County has got some proper old-school charm, with the Naples Pier dating back to the early 1900s and the historic homes in Old Naples. And if you're into museums, you can't miss the Naples Depot Museum, which tells the story of the railway and how it shaped the county. All in all, Collier County is a right corker of a place, with something for everyone. You won't be disappointed, love. You won't believe the famous folk who hail from Collier County, love. For starters, we've got none other than the tennis ace, Chris Evert. She's won more Grand Slam singles titles than you can shake a stick at, and she's a proper inspiration to any lass who wants to hit the court. But that's not all, love. We've also got none other than John Lithgow, the actor with more talent in his little finger than most of us have in our whole bodies. You might know him from The Crown or Dexter, or maybe even from his iconic role in The World According to Garp. And if you're into music, you'll be chuffed to bits to know that the country singer, Rodney Atkins, is from Collier County, too. He's had a fair few #1 hits on the country charts, and he's a proper hometown hero. But let's not forget about the local legends, love. Collier County is full of characters who've made their mark on the community, like the late great Earl Morrall, who played football for the Miami Dolphins and helped them win 2 Super Bowls. All in all, Collier County has produced some proper top-notch talent, and we're lucky to call them our own. They're a credit to the county, and we're chuffed to bits to have them represent us on the world stage. Collier County has had its fair share of famous incidents, love. For starters, there was the time when the Naples Zoo got hit by Hurricane Irma, and all the animals had to be evacuated to safety. It was a proper kerfuffle, but they managed to get them all out in the end. And if you're into true crime, you might have heard of the infamous skunk ape sightings that have happened in the Everglades over the years. Some folks reckon they've seen a Bigfoot-like creature lurking in the swamps, and it's caused a right stir among the locals. But let's not forget about the time when the Burmese python problem got so bad that the county had to declare a state of emergency. These massive snakes were taking over the swamps and causing havoc with the local wildlife, and it took a proper effort to get them under control. And who could forget the time when a massive sinkhole opened up on the road in Naples, swallowing a bunch of cars and causing a proper ruckus? It was a right nightmare for anyone who was stuck in the traffic jam, but thankfully no one was hurt. All in all, Collier County has had some proper headline-grabbing incidents over the years, and it's a testament to the spirit of the locals that they've been able to weather them all with such aplomb. If you're looking for posh and swanky in Collier County, I've got just the ticket for you, love. For starters, we've got Naples, which is home to some of the wealthiest folks in the whole county. The downtown area is packed with high-end shops and restaurants, and the beachfront properties are to die for. And if you're looking for something a bit more exclusive, you might want to check out Pelican Bay. This gated community is home to some of the most expensive homes in the whole of Collier County, and the amenities are out of this world. You've got your own private beach, golf courses, tennis courts, and more. But let's not forget about the fancy schmancy Marco Island, love. This is where the rich and famous come to play, with their fancy yachts and waterfront mansions. The dining scene is top-notch, and you can't beat the views of the Gulf of Mexico. And if you're looking for something a bit more low-key, you might want to check out the Moorings. This is a proper upscale neighborhood with some gorgeous homes and a real sense of community. You'll find plenty of parks, restaurants, and shops to keep you entertained, and the beach is just a stone's throw away. All in all, Collier County is packed with posh and swanky areas, and if you're looking to rub shoulders with the rich and famous, you won't be disappointed. But even if you're not rolling in it, there's plenty to see and do in this lovely part of Florida. I'll be a monkey's uncle. There's a fair few TV stations to choose from in Collier County, love. For starters, you've got WBBH-TV, which is an NBC-affiliated station based in Fort Myers. They cover news and events from all over Southwest Florida, including Collier County, and they've got a proper good team of reporters and anchors. But that's not all, love. You've also got Wink TV, which is a CBS-affiliated station based in Fort Myers. They cover news and events from all over the region, including Collier County, and they've got a proper good sports team as well. And if you're looking for something a bit more local, you might want to check out the Collier County Government Access Channel. This is where you can catch up on all the latest council meetings, local news, and community events, and it's a proper good way to stay in the know. But let's not forget about the cable channels, love. You've got Comcast, which offers a range of local and national channels, including NBC2 and ABC7, as well as a range of on-demand content. And if you're into sports, you'll be chuffed to bits to know that they offer the NFL Sunday Ticket and a range of other sports packages. All in all, Collier County has got a proper good selection of TV stations to choose from, whether you're after the latest news, sports, or entertainment. So sit back, relax, and tuck into some telly, love. I'll be buggered if there isn't a right proper reputation for British cars being a bit dodgy, love. We've had some real clunkers over the years, and it's not uncommon for blokes down the pub to swap tales of their motors conking out on them at the worst possible moment. Now, I don't want to slag off all British cars, love. There have been some proper good ones over the years, like the Mini, the Jaguar E-Type, and the Aston Martin DB5. But let's face it, there have also been some real lemons, like the Austin Allegro, the Morris Marina, and the Reliant Robin, which was infamous for tipping over on its side, bless its little heart. Part of the problem, I reckon, is that British cars are often designed with a bit of a make-do-and-mend attitude. We're good at tinkering and improvising, but that can lead to some real bodges under the bonnet. And let's not forget that British weather can be a right bugger as well, with all the rain and dampness causing rust and corrosion. But despite all that, there's still a certain charm to British cars, love. They've got character and style, even if they're not always the most reliable. And hey, if you're up for a bit of adventure and don't mind the occasional breakdown, a British car might be just the ticket for you. Just make sure you've got your tools and a sense of humor handy, because you never know what might go wrong. Right, love, if you're looking for a proper good pint in Collier County, I've got a few suggestions for you. Now, bear in mind that us Brits can be a bit picky when it comes to our beer, so I'm going to be looking for places that serve up a proper pint of ale rather than some of that fizzy lager muck. First off, you might want to check out some of the local pubs, love. There's a few hidden gems around here that serve up some top-notch brews, like the Crown and Anchor in Naples or the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs. These places are proper authentic, with cozy atmospheres and friendly locals who know their way around a good pint. If you're looking for something a bit more upscale, you might want to try one of the craft breweries that are popping up all over Collier County. These places take their beer seriously, love, and you can expect to find some unique and tasty brews that you won't find anywhere else. Some of my favorites include Bone Hook Brewing Company in Naples and Momentum Brewhouse in Bonita Springs. And let's not forget about the beer gardens, love. These outdoor spaces are perfect for enjoying a cold pint on a sunny day, and there's a few good ones around Collier County, like the Riverside Beer Garden in East Naples or the Garden of Hope and Courage at the NCH Downtown Naples Hospital. Now, I know some of you might be thinking that us Brits are a bit snobbish when it comes to our beer, but trust me, love, we just know what we like. And if you're looking for a proper good pint in Collier County, these places won't let you down. Cheers. Don't even get me started on the Revolutionary War, love. It's still a sore point for us Brits, even after all these years. I mean, we had the best army in the world at the time, not to mention all our fancy weapons and ships. And yet somehow those ruddy colonists managed to best us. It's not just the fact that we lost, love, it's the way we lost. It was a right proper humiliation, with our soldiers getting chased out of Boston and New York, and then surrendering at Yorktown like a bunch of Nancies. And don't even get me started on that traitor Benedict Arnold, who switched sides and fought against us. We still spit at the mention of his name. Now, I know some people like to romanticize the American Revolution and paint it as some grand struggle for freedom and democracy, but let's be honest, love, it was really just a bunch of uppity colonists who didn't want to pay their taxes. They weren't fighting for some noble cause, they were fighting because they didn't want to share their wealth with the rest of the empire. And yet somehow, despite all our military might and the support of loyalists throughout the colonies, we still lost. It's enough to make a Brit want to cry into her tea, but you know what they say, love, keep calm and carry on. We might have lost the Revolutionary War, but we still have a bloody good country to call home. I have to admit that as a proud Brit, I don't usually celebrate the 4th of July. After all, it's a holiday commemorating the American Revolution and our defeat, so it's not exactly something we Brits get excited about. That being said, I do know a few fellow expats who like to mark the occasion by having a good old-fashioned BBQ or picnic. They'll fire up the grill, crack open a few cans of lager, and maybe even play some American-themed games like cornhole or horseshoes. Of course, they'll usually make sure to have some British touches as well, like serving up some fish and chips or playing a bit of cricket. Personally, I tend to keep things a bit more low-key on the 4th of July. Maybe I'll watch a British film or read a book by a British author, just to remind myself of home. Or maybe I'll take a stroll through the park and enjoy the fireworks from a distance. But whatever I do, I make sure to remember that while the 4th of July might not be a holiday we Brits celebrate, it's still an important day in American history, and one that we should all respect. Well, love, it all started when I got a bit tired of the grey skies and rainy weather back in Brighton. Don't get me wrong, I love a good cuppa and a bit of drizzle as much as the next Brit, but I was just craving a bit more sunshine and warmth in my life. So I started doing a bit of research and looking into different places to live, and before I knew it, I was booking a one-way ticket to Florida. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in a place where the sun shines pretty much all year round, and you can wear flip-flops and shorts even in December? Of course, the transition wasn't completely smooth sailing, love. I had to get used to the different way of life here in the States, with all the different customs and slang. And don't even get me started on the driving, it's like everyone's in such a hurry all the time. But overall, I've been really happy with my decision to move here. I love the laid-back